anything ever gets done is because we choose to do it. Things that do not get done is because we choose not to do them. Is that right? It's that simple, folks. But for some reason we ask ourselves, why is this not working? Well, the reason is because we never really made the choice to do so. We never followed through. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, there is a force behind you that's coming with that. And that is the fact that change is continually moving. So you can't stop change. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. You may say, well, it hasn't always been changing like it is here lately. That's true. Maybe over the past 20 or 30 years, or the past 2,000 years, change has come very slowly. But I'm going to tell you a secret. It's speeding up. It is.
It's not a secret here?
Right. Why is it speeding up? Why is change coming on so fast now? Technology, that's another reason. One big reason. Technology has just changed our life. In the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see some major changes. I mean, I can't even really predict. They said, when we conservatively try to say, well, this is what would probably happen, and then we find out that it's changing much quicker than that. So technology is one. What's another one?
Increased competition.
Increased competition, which comes, that's true, that's true. What's that? Cultural changes come into place. There's something that integral about your company you're in. Consumer demand, that's right. The needs are coming. The other part of it is communication. You are now going to find that you're going to be communicating not just within your facility here, but with other facilities, right? Communication, it's happening so much faster. The information is going to flow quicker. Your job is going to change. What? Yes, it's true. With that change, even your job will change. So we're going to talk about how to survive in this change. You're going to help your directs how to survive in the midst of this change, because some of them are not going to know what to do. I brought with me some newspaper articles, and you read the paper and you see how, my gosh, the world is changing. I mean, Danny and I live down in Cape Canaveral, Florida, where they send out the shuttle. Now it's happening almost every other month. They send out the shuttle, and they're building a space station up in the air. It's unbelievable what they're doing and what's going to happen with that. The job force is changing. We look at the restructuring of corporations and so forth, and all this change. Some people say, well, they're afraid of it. But you know what? I think it's all good. I think change is something I want to see. All right, did I go too fast? I think that the changes that we're seeing, we should be embracing it. But what ends up happening is we feel like we have to survive in this by resisting. So I'm going to tell you a secret. You might want to write this down. If you have a good attitude about change and how to survive in the midst of that change, you will persist to embrace it. You'll persist to move on. You'll see the value of it. But if you have a bad attitude about change, you will resist. So tell your directs when they come to you and they say, you know what, I'm having a problem with this. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to deal with this. And you realize that they're holding on. They don't want the change to take place. When you see them resisting, that means they don't have the right attitude. They're pretty good, usually. But the reality is that change is real. It's not an illusion, folks. One thing I think about when coming to the New England States is I think about the heritage of our forefathers and the type of life that they lived when they first came here. And I think you folks could identify with that more than some of us can, the rest of the country, because of the historical value of this part of the country. But the change that they saw took place was phenomenal. And the opportunities that they said, yes, I want this, please bring it on. They embraced the change that was there. Now since then, we've changed an awful lot. We've gone through some evolutions, and we will continue to do so. I see change like an escalator. I remember the first time I ever got an escalator. I grew up in a small town in the cornfields of Indiana. I remember my parents taking me to Indianapolis to the big department store and get on the escalator for the first time. I don't know if you have that experience, but I distinctly remember riding the escalator for the first time. Now, one thing I have learned, and just happened to me the other day, at the airport, I'm standing on the escalator with my luggage, and this family is in front of me. And the family, they're going up the escalator, and they get to the top of the escalator, and now they're in an airport they've never been to before, so what do? They come up, they stand, and they stop. They're looking around like where they're supposed to go. Now, you know what's about to happen. I'm behind them and 20 other people. And naturally, I have to move my way through, and I say, excuse me, please, you know. And we have a tendency to do that, you know, when we experience change. You're going to find your direction and act the same way. They're going to be pushed into something, and all of a sudden they're standing there going, oh my. And they don't realize that they can't stop and stand there. They got to step aside if that's what they choose to do so, or they're going to make the change. They're going to step on, they're going to move on out. I'm going to call it job security. But I'm also going to tell you that today there is no such thing as job security. Today it's changed. When you go into an interview for a job, you don't ask about a retirement plan, do you? Because the likelihood, it's now, they're telling us, the human resource people are telling us that now your chances of changing your job is between 3 to 5 years. Every 3 to 5 years you're going to find a new job. Wow, that's what's happening in our country today. That's the trend. It may not be with you, but that's the trend. So job security is not really there. It's in the way it used to be. I'll tell you where it is. It's by investing in yourself. Being the best you can be for who you are. Learning new skills. Discovering yourself. Knowing your strengths. Learning how to take risk. Learning to use your intuitions. I know this may sound foreign to you folks, but let me tell you, this is where people are going, and this is how we're going to learn to manage by using these skills. Is this kind of scary? If you don't know anything about this stuff, then I encourage you to buy books, buy videotapes, cassette tapes. Dean and I, every time we travel in the car, we're listening to cassette tapes and motivational, informational type things that help self-improvement type programs. What are you doing? You're investing in you. How many of you have an investment program where you put your money away to save money for the future? How many play the lottery? The whole idea is to be able to, it's a chance. We invest our money in different things thinking we can get something back from it, but we forget to invest in ourselves. And whose responsibility is that? Is it Anthem's responsibility? Sure, they're going to help you. That's why we're here. They're going to help you, but it's your individual responsibility. Dana and I can only do so much. So we encourage you to seek out. Do a research on you. You know what I mean when I say that? Find the real you. Climb that ladder of success. And the only way you can do that is by knowing yourself, and taking time to invest in yourself, creating that job security in you. So no matter what happens, you know somewhere, somehow, I've got a job to do. Do you have a ladder? A ladder? Do you have a ladder here? No. Don't worry, I carry one with me everywhere I go. Well, you never know when you're going to need an opportunity to take another step off the ladder, right? So I carry my ladder with me everywhere I go. I keep it in my briefcase. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. I've been using this ladder, and it's come out very, very handy at times. Now, believe in me, are you? Look, folks, this is not a little step ladder. I'm a tall guy. You know, if you're as tall as I am, you're going to need yourself a big ladder. Sure enough. I got myself a big ladder I keep inside this briefcase. And it's taller than me because when I'm going to get a little further, I got to take a few steps. So by investing in yourself, that's what you're doing. You are taking another step up the ladder. You're creating more value to you. You're still wondering how I've got that out of there, aren't you? Remember, it's still an illusion. It's a pretty good one, though, isn't it? Good. Now make it tight so it doesn't come up. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Oh, yeah, very good. Wait till we hang. Now, what my example here is that Dave is sticking his neck out. He's sticking his neck out because he's putting his trust in somebody. Isn't that what you're doing? Isn't that what you're doing with your directs? Yes, it is. You put your trust in it. And you're trusting that I know how to do this, right?
I'm hopeful.
Let's hope I don't use this word.
Have faith.
That's it. She's got faith. That's right. That's right. So what I want you to do is, I want you to clear your throat. That's very good. We're going to pull right through here at the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2. 3 days ago I did this. Well, building suspense. 3 days ago I did this. A guy's head came off in front of me. So I'm going to take a little precautionary measure. Would you come over here and stand next to him? I want you to hold this here. You come over here. This way, if his head comes loose, it won't go flying out. Oh, did anybody bring a camera by chance? We're good on video. All right. There's one back in the back. All right, there we go. This is a good look, isn't it? All right. Folks, are you ready?
Ready.